second pre-season test for Season 9 here in TCR. We are here at the Hungary Ring, the 2.72 mile, 14 corner circuit. One of the most notoriously provide a nice balance of medium speed, low speed and high speed corners, ideal for testing for the new season. And alongside me for you guys, for me, I'm joined by Kitten Teta and Schwarner. It's lovely to have you two guys here today.
Yeah, thanks, Meg. I guess we'll be doing this all week. After Thursday's eventful test session, excited to be back in the saddle, getting all the rust off here in lovely Magyar Nadij in Budapest.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just showing up,
And Schwarner,
giving a little bit of,
mate?
yeah, I'm here, just here to give a little bit of driver's view on things. Oh no, I think we got that tight.
Oh well.
Loaded.
So, here's how this second pre-season test is going to work. Unlike the first pre-season test, which was at Spain, where it was only a practice session, this one has a short qualifying session and a 25% race. Now, this will give us a greater idea of how close these drivers are in terms of race pace and quali pace going forward into the season. Schwarner, can you?
Yeah.
Are you there?
Yeah, the proper Liberty media moment there, not being able to get any communication with the guy on pit road. But yeah, I'm here, got the radio turned on, and here to give a little bit of driver's insight on things.
Yes, Peter told me you'll be our Karun Shandok for this evening.
Yeah, I'd love to provide a lovely Indian accent, but y'all are gonna get stuck with the southern draw for a little bit.
Alright, so all the drivers are now coming out onto their hot laps. Oh, Sinister Owl has a spin coming out of turn 1. As I said before, this track has got a very nice balance of high speed, low speed and medium speed corners, but also tests some of the other aspects of F1 2019, such as very easily cuttable corners, such as turn 4. It's very easy to get a warning there and invalidate a lap time. And also it has auto spin curbs like turn 5, where if you touch the inside curb there, you are guaranteed to spin your car around. So hopefully we'll see a very eventful pre-season test.
That is true.
There's Mando. He's on the first flying lap for pre-season testing. Coming into the chicane now, turn 6 and turn 7.
Yeah, we were a little bit discombobulated getting in here, which is why we're so late. I had to host the lobby. I wasn't entirely sure what everything was supposed to be set as, because I think Freeze is at work at the moment, so I didn't really know. But I think we've got it set now, where we're just gonna have a straight up, basically just a sprint race, and I think that should be pretty fun. Although we do have Coleman in here who finished, I believe, 6th place in Golden class last year, so he should be a little bit quicker. Swarner, what can you tell us about Mando? He's the first one to set a time. Is he full time this season, or is he still reserving?
He is planning on staying full time with us. But as Dorian just showed, his first lap maybe not up to par. But I'm on the telemetry right now. He's running standard and medium, so maybe he'll kick it up on some later laps. But maybe just getting some cider laps in.
Yeah, it's possible that he hasn't really been. Maybe he hasn't been playing a whole lot over the winter break. I know that was the case for a lot of us here in the off season. You know, kind of get burnt out on playing F1 all the time. Nice to take a little break. So yeah, I think we're trying to get Dolphin Chaser in here as well. I'm not sure if he's too savvy with time zones, but yeah, she's supposed to be in here at 7. Uh, yeah, so I think we got a little. It's gonna be kind of interesting. Obviously, Lucking You Up's been putting in some pretty impressive times in the gold and platinum testing. Looks like he's probably going to be making a jump up into golden next year. Dorian obviously is already in golden. He raced last season. And Coleman, I think Coleman might. I guess he is going to set a time. I think he's going to stay on the mediums though. So yeah, let's see how the cookie crumbles.
Well, everyone at the moment setting lap times on a set of soft compound tyres. Coleman, the only driver to come out on the medium straight away. A lot of the guys must be quite confident around this racetrack. Coming around now into Sector 3. He must have invalidated his lap time. It says he's done 1 lap already on those mediums, so...
Huh. Yeah, because, well, Sinister did do a complete lap. He did a 17th flat, which is honestly pretty good. 7/10 clear of Lucking You Up in P2, but I think Sinister has to do something. He has to leave. So we might have a little AI action on track pretty soon for the race. Yeah, this, like I said, this has been pretty discombobulated here.
We did have Coleman dump it out of turn 1. I don't know if it was a cold tire situation or if he just dumped it on traction, but he's back going again.
Facing your face, the next car to come across the finish line, I believe. Yes, D-Swish just started his flying lap. Going around turn 13 now. Only 8 drivers here today, but hopefully it might turn out to be quite an interesting session. Sometimes with the smaller fields it does raise the action a little bit. I have seen it happen once or twice.
Yeah, there were some pretty good races last year. I had to fill in when Gade couldn't do it in the commentary booth. There were quite a few pretty good races. So yeah, it looks like Sinister is going to have to leave, unfortunately. He's asking me if he's in silver. I mean, I would assume so. He was in it last year, but I'm not an official. I'm not really sure what we're looking for here. We're just looking for some fun. That's what I'm looking for, at least.
So how many drivers do we have confirmed for the Silver Championship this season?
Yeah, last year the driver count was a little shaky as you know, it was the first season for the Silver class, and you know, throughout the season there was a Chargers 1000 was pretty dominant, and I think that kind of broke the will of quite a few drivers, and the head count kind of dropped, kind of thinned out the herd a little bit as we moved along in the season. But typically we would get about 12 to maybe 14. I think we're looking for a little bit more this year, maybe 17, 18. You know, more on par with Golden Platinum.
A few more drivers on their flying laps. Lando Mando being one of them, looking to seriously improve on his lap time. At the moment, he's 3 seconds off the pace of Sinister Owl, a 1 minute 17 flat on his very first lap too. A very solid lap time to begin with.
Yeah, I've been on board with Lando Mando here, and it looks like he's trying to low down for a set. He's been running wide through a lot of corners, and I don't know if that's just down to a lack of downforce or maybe just like getting mentioned earlier, a lack of practice, but definitely not the best lap from the Alpha driver.
Yeah, you can see it on the onboard, just a little hints of understeer through the mid-corner and corner exit. I think you're right. It could have something to do with the tyre pressures as well. They do affect the car a lot in this game.
Yeah. Karoon, can you switch over to Case in Your Face and tell me what he's doing at the moment? Because it looks like he's doing an entire lap on second gear.
Earlier he panned over to him. He spun out coming out of the S's, and I think he did a whole bunch of donuts in high fuel mixture, burned out all his fuel. So he's now trundling along the track at dangerous speeds of 70 miles an hour, and I think he might set a lap record here.
Expert opinion from the Skypad, Karoon Cheta, our faithful Indian friend.
I don't understand why Case in Your Face is actually doing this. I mean, why?
I mean, I don't know why I don't know. I would say this is something that I would do when I was drunk, but he's like only like 15, so I don't think that's legal.
Okay, so well, there you go, people. Drivers really testing out the limits of the cars.
Yeah, absolutely. Trying to stretch the fuel mix or the fuel for as long as they possibly can. Looks like Case may have bitten off a little bit more than he could chew.
Maybe he just wanted to see how quick he could actually go in the low fuel mixture, perhaps. I'm trying to find a logical explanation for this.
I mean, whenever I first saw him, I was like, he was on the front straightaway, or on the main straight. So he had a chance to go into the pits, and he just didn't. And instead, he just wasted about 3 minutes trundling along in second gear.
For some reason, I'm sure he'll explain to us what he was trying to do after the testing has been completed. I'd like to know what his scientific process was, his thinking.
That is a good question.
We're now coming towards 5 minutes left in the session. Sinister Owl is still the quickest car on track, 1 minute 17 flat. The closest driver on a flying lap at the moment is D Swish, and he just went 1/10 up coming through the first sector, now coming into the second sector through the chicane. Can he bump Sinister Owl off that top spot? Through turn 10 and turn
Bucking
11.
up on a flying lap. He's lost out of turn 4 into the wall.
Damage is off.
He gathered it back up though.
Ooh, well, yeah, looks like he's gonna try to take the quickest route around the track.
Yeah.
In order to get himself another lap. He's doing some off-roading. Must have been watching some Dakar this week. The Dakar rally. He's currently in 6th place. Fernando Alonso, I believe, is in 6th place.
As
D-Swish real close.
17-1.
Yeah, D-Swish, he had a bit of a strange season. He was, in the opening few races, he was up there challenging for wins and podiums, but I think he got wrapped up in prior commitments, wound up missing a pretty sizable chunk of the season, unfortunately. Hopefully he can make it full-time this year, because he would certainly be one of the top contenders in the silver class now, with the likes of Flying Jippo. And maybe some of these new guys, like Sir Charles, 24. First time we've seen him in a TCR outing, I believe. So hopefully he brings a little bit of excitement to the series.
As Case in Your Face is spun out at turn 5, sorry. Must have touched the inside curb. Doesn't appear to be any damage. The damage is turned off for...
Yeah, the damage is turned off.
Okay.
So, even stuff like blowing out tires, I don't even think will be a factor here. But yeah, Kate's not doing great. He was playing a lot of iRacing over the break. Um, Apparently that's not translating too well.
So hopefully he'll come around and try and set another flying lap. He's got 2.5 minutes, a bit under 2.5 minutes to go. As Dolphin Chaser has joined, so he'll be starting at the back of the grid. No, he'll come in.
Oh, can he come in? Well, that's...
Case is coming into the
I
pits.
don't think he can.
I thought he wouldn't be able to. But, yeah, Dolphin was another guy last year, had a couple of decent results, but I think struggled a bit to find his footing overall in that McLaren. Our stepsister, McLaren, in Silver Clash. I mean, that was a really good lap by Sinister Owl, it must be said. 17 flat. Obviously with ABS turned on in medium traction control as Silver Class has. Just wondering, what was the lap that you did? You did a reconnaissance lap.
Yeah, I was under the influence that we were going to be in a practice session, so I tried to get a representative time. I did set a 17.7, but that's without max fuel mixture. I don't know what that equates to. They don't give me all the information. We know Ferrari's doing a little bit of oil burning, so they probably got a bit more performance with it, but we'll see. I think the 17 flat's a pretty good time, though.
And that being his first ever lap in the quali session. I mean...
Yeah, and I I haven't even really seen him online that much over the break. So yeah, that's some pretty impressive little lap he threw down.
As we're looking at lucking up at the moment, he's on a flying out lap and he's up massively. He's up by 4/10 coming out of the first sector, coming into sector 2 now. Very fast flowing sector, full of medium speed corners through turn 11.
Says Coleman is on an out lap here. I don't think he's going to get another chance. He's still just now coming out of sector 1. But Sir Charles, he is on a hot lap. 17.7, so not terrible, but still about 7/10 off of Sinister Owl in first.
Lucking up goes to Paul. Look at that.
200s. 200s from lucking up.
But that's with better track condition towards the end of the session as well.
Yeah.
It just shows how good
Like,
that lap was from Sinister Owl.
Yeah, doing it, I mean, he did one lap and pretty solid. Yeah.
So, after digging into the X-Files of Trinity Competitive Racing, those two times would have put our 1 and 2, Mr. Lucking You Up and Sinister Owl, in about P9 and P10 in Platinum class.
Wow.
So those are some pretty good laps there, and D-Switch not far behind either.
No. Top 3
Now, granted,
only
those laps
separated by
were
a
on...
tenth of a second.
The Platinum class laps were on mediums, but, I mean, it's still some very respectable times from, silver tryouts.
Yeah, and I mean, you should keep beating the dead horse here. I think lucking you up with his performance last week in Barcelona was... I think he pretty much clinched himself into Golden Class. He had some fantastic times along with Bam Bam. And unfortunately, Chargers, the reigning champion who got the automatic promotion into Golden, he's not going to be able to make it full time due to some time constraints. So he'll only be reserving. So it looks like those two are going to be the first two to make it up into Golden. Would be interesting to see though if Lucking is. I'm not sure if he has. If he's using the traction control, because I know he's mainly been doing it without it this offseason in the F2 races and stuff. I know he's working on it, but I'm not entirely sure if he's gone no assist here.
Yeah, it was hard to see with the onboard laps I did with him. I didn't see any lockups, which could mean he mastered no ABS over the brake, but I'm not 100% sure if he was running no assist.
So that will complete the short qualifying here at pre-season testing. Out of the 8 drivers who have participated in it, Lucking Up was the quickest, only just by 0.02 of a second to Sinister Al, who put in one hell of a banker lap of 17 flat on his first ever lap here at Hungary. A very, very good time from him. D-Swish P3, just 1/10 behind, Lucking You Up. Then Sir Charles, Coleman, Lando Mando, Dorian Alpha, and Case in Your Face will round out the 8 drivers that participated in qualifying.
Yeah, and it looks like even though we're going to lose Sinister, we are going to gain Dolphin Chaser here. So should be 8 drivers, I'd imagine, participating in the race. Obviously, the heavy favorite would be Coleman, since he is naturally just a little bit faster than these guys in Golden Class, and Dorian, who's also in Golden Class. Coleman had a bit better of a season. It'll be interesting to see how this all plays out, because Coleman is starting to be at P6, so I don't know. Let's just get some hot F1 action there.
So the drivers fine-tuning their setups, fine-tuning the fuel load. Do these guys start on the tyres they qualify on? I think they do.
Park for May is off, so they might be able to choose. Yeah,
wait, no formation lap, righto. And it's lights out and away we go. Holy moly, there's no formation lap. That caught me by surprise. Alright, so Lucking Up seems to have gotten a fairly good start, but D-Swish is right alongside. Lando Mando sends it down the inside into turn 1, however. He might get first place here. Oh, it's very close. It's these guys, absolutely fantastic, scrambling all over the circuit into turn 2. D-Swish leads from Lucking Up in P2, Coleman in P3. No, Lando Mando. Oh, Coleman into the wall.
Coleman.
Yeah, they got together.
Incident.
Oh, and Lucking Case
Up.
in Your Face. Yeah, Lucking Up. There you go. He tangled with somebody. I think it was Case in Your Face. Spun him out of turn 4. But I saw
8 drivers. It's still a very eventful start. Holy moly! I've got to get the spectator menu going.
Yeah, I think Coleman squeezed Lando Mando coming out of turn 3, and it's just not a place where you can fit 2 cars in without someone lifting, and I think they both held it flat out, and I guess Lando's lucky he didn't get taken out with them.
Yeah, looks like they got connected pretty well there. Lando is up at a P2. D-Swish has already run away with all that madness. Nearly got a 2-second lead after just 1 lap. Want to see how Coleman responds to this, and like I just said, he should be faster than these guys, hypothetically. But I know he said pre-race that Hungary is not the best track.
And now we got even more battling. Sir Charles and Lando Mando side by side through turn 2. Now coming through turn 3. Lando Mando, he's not giving up. He's going to have a look down the inside into turn 4. No, he's going to slot in behind. Oh my goodness me. As you said, D-Swish leading a comfortable margin, 2.8 seconds back to Sir Charles. Lando Mando and P3 Dorian. Ooh.
Yeah, Lando's going to have to work that lap, and that's going to give, yeah, it looks like he just got pushed a little bit out of, didn't have a whole lot of room. He just decided to evacuate that entire.
Very wide.
Yeah, now it looks like
he loses another position.
Dolphin's class. Dorian and Dolphin both got past him, and we got
Coleman's
another caution. I think it's Coleman. Yeah, Coleman looks like started turn or sector 2 must have had a bit of a problem.
So I know this is only a practice race, but I did notice Dolphin Chaser locking up. So I'm not sure if he's running with no assist completely, but I do know he at least has his ABS off. So maybe he's putting in a bid for Golden, or maybe just challenging himself a little bit.
What on earth? Case in Your Face, drive-through penalty with a collision.
Wow.
Wait, what? A race
I,
director
I, I
incident.
didn't really see what happened there. I've never seen that. I don't
Case
think
in
I've
your
ever
face,
seen that.
drive-through penalty, severe collision with locking you up. Okay.
Not entirely sure. That was in the last corner. I can surmise because Case's car was spun out. I
I
didn't
mean,
see
I
the.
wonder if he just pulled back onto the track and looking up had nowhere to go. Not
Maybe,
entirely
but you
sure.
would think that. I mean, typically with Codemasters logic, that gives the guy that hits it.
Yeah.
Okay, so...
I mean, either way, not the race both these ex-teammates, I guess, were looking for, lucking up especially considering where the laps he can set, you know, his one lap pace.
Yeah.
So
I
it looks
wonder
like
if it was just
Dorian
a
is
bit
making a
of
move for second place. Down the inside into turn one, he'll get the job done. He'll get the DRS again. Pull away a little
simple
bit
as you'd
further
like
from
it.
Sir Charles.
Now Dorian is a bit of a interesting case study. Um, I believe he pretty much went cold turkey with the assists and joined Golden. And he had the obvious struggles right away, but towards the end of the season, I think he had a couple of points paying positions. There was one incident right here in Hungary where I had T-boned him. We could have both died easily, but luckily we both survived. But I think Dorian is an interesting case study here with just like what Golden and Silver, the way they can be connected.
So it seems we've got a couple of battles forming. We've got a battle for second between Sir Charles and Dorian. We've got a battle for fourth between Dolphin Chaser and Lando Mando. And a battle for sixth between Coleman and Lucking Up. So we've got a few things we have to keep an eye on here.
We do. We have a battle with Case in the 107% rule at the back of the back as well. 28 seconds off.
Jesus Christ, 107%. Oh, here we go. Battle between Dolphin Changer and Lando Mando is hotting up. Lando very wide coming out of turn two, but can he hold on to it? Can't. He has to slot back in
Yeah,
behind
I
Dolphin
think he
Chaser.
learned his mistake with Coleman. He backed out of it
Yeah,
there.
I was gonna say because he almost did that with someone else on lap two,
Yeah, when
and I
Sir
think
Charles got by him.
and he must be really keen about passing people into is that turn four, turn three.
Okay, so Case in your face decided to retire.
About 15 minutes of torture there.
Yeah, he can probably watch. He can go back to watching YouTube videos now. I got a yellow flag. I'm not sure
Coleman
if that.
very
Oh,
wide
it's
coming out of
Coleman
turn
knocking you
nine.
up. We might be seeing this next year in Golden Glass, starting next month, February 2nd, I believe. I think it's 2nd through 4th. It's been a while since I've had to reiterate that.
So Sir Charles comes into the pit lane. He's going to go onto a set of medium compound tyres. Get him to the end of the race. So it's Coleman just...
Coleman and Lucking Up almost running into that
as Coleman
camouflage
gets
green.
a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. That doesn't help.
Lando is, I mean, I feel like Lando's made a couple of mistakes here, but, I mean, he's constantly gaining on Dolphin in order to get in that P3. Meanwhile, I mean, we should mention D-Swishes is from the wins.
Yeah, he's just walked away with it. It's now almost a 6-second margin after 6 laps. Oh!
Ooh,
Dolphin Chaser into the wall! At
Oh,
turn
no.
9, entering turn 10. Surrenders P3 to Lando Mando.
Lando really putting the pressure on Dolphin Chaser there. I think that can, or in addition to probably some worn out softs,
Hmm.
Deadly combination.
Yeah, even with all the, I mean, I think he actually is running without assists here, which could be another reason why he lost it there. Um, but that is kind of a weird spot to lose it at, even on worn tires.
The Dolphin Chaser deciding to stay out. Now, he will have very worn tyres, but he also has a bucket load of ERS he can use. And that was something I was going to point out, because Lando Mando, just prior to the incident, he was very low on ERS. He was below 20%. So I think Dolphin was sort of just saving up a little bit, preparing for the end of the race. Whereas Lando was going on an all-out attack.
Yeah, I do wonder if Dolphin is experimenting here with no assists. I'm pretty sure that I gave him the opportunity to use it, but typically whenever I make practice sessions, I have everything turned off, so it's usually overly black.
Tell you what, I think he might be using no assist. I mean, I'm looking at his throttle and braking inputs. They're very, very
Yeah.
gentle. I mean, if you're using ABS and or TCS, you'd be absolutely using every ounce of brake you can use, so you'd slam down on the brake pedal. But yeah, he's being very gentle. So I think you guys are right. I don't think he's using any assist.
Huh. Interesting strategy from Dolphin if that's the case. And to be fair, aside from that one mistake, he hasn't been doing too bad. Um, maybe he has been putting quite a bit of time in here the past few weeks. Yeah, I'm kind of surprised he's still staying out as Coleman sets the fastest lap, 119.5. Not sure how long these softs can last around here, but D-Swish is already up to the gearbox.
Yeah, after taking a visit down into the Haas pit box, he has been ignoring orders to pit for about 2 laps now. So we'll see if he's just out here trying to lead a couple laps, maybe get a little bit of screen time.
Currently, Gunther Steiner is slamming his fist on the table in absolute frustration at the moment.
999.
Nine, 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 nine.
Yeah, it's I mean, it's working. At least for me, I've been watching this. D-Switch is going to make that pass and stuff. Pass the pits. 8 laps, nearly 9 laps on those softs. That seems like honestly seems like a lot.
Yeah, I mean that's a pretty long distance. Also, including the fact that he spun out and was racing pretty hard with all just about everybody, especially in those first couple laps. The melee that was going on.
That's very true. Sir Charles did cut down about a second in that pit stop.
Oh, Coleman has spun turn one. He's made contact with Dolphin Chaser. Oh my goodness me. To rub salt into the wound for both drivers after having, well, Coleman having a shocking start and then Dolphin Chaser making that mistake. And they come together at turn one. Oh no.
Here I was thinking Coleman would have a pretty good chance of, going worst to first, essentially, in this race.
It's the commentator's curse, I guess.
Yeah, we certainly had it flowing last week in Barcelona. Looks like it might be a similar case today. In that case, D-Swish is doing great right now. 4.5 seconds up on Sir Charles.
It seems that everyone is now in their own little world. There doesn't appear to be any battles brewing, except for potentially one for P6.
Yeah, I think Coleman is going to come back here. Less than a second. He's in DRS on the latest straight. Every time I go on board with Coleman, Karun, I'm not sure if you can if you're picking left too, but every time I go on board with Coleman, it seems like there's a lot of lag.
Yeah, I noticed that with Coleman and Lando Mando, both little laggy. But such is Codemasters and bad internet, so I don't think there's anything to be too worried about. As he slips on by a Dolphin Chaser after that mistake.
Dolphin a little wide.
As Dolphin then proceeds to use all of the inside, coming through turn 7. Oh, and Coleman! Oh my goodness me! He's on the grass. They're side by side. How was that not a massive accident? Wow, very well done from both drivers. Holy moly, that was very, very close to being a massive, massive accident.
Yeah, I've noticed a lot of like people taking the grass. I don't know. You know, from my time driving this track, it's not the fastest way around there, but I mean, I've seen a lot of dirt flying up, whether it's intentional or not.
Welcome to Silver Class.
Yeah, Lando Mando's all over the place with lag on my end. I don't know if he's experiencing that, but him and Coleman are a little iffy.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't really noticed any problems with anybody else. I think that might just be personal problems. Dorian's actually starting to close in a little bit on Sir Charles at P2. D Swishes. He stretched that back up to 6.5. He is running away with it, and I gotta say that's gotta be a pretty good feeling for him. I think he might have something to say about the Silver Class Championship this year.
Yeah, I don't know if Dolphin Chaser's struggling with tire temps or something, but he keeps catching back up to Coleman, and once he got right back behind him, he spun out, or I know on this lap he kind of made a mistake going through the chicane, so I don't know if it's the nerves or just tire temps, or maybe getting used to the fact that he's running no traction control. At least it seems that way to me. But.
Yeah, I'm looking at looking up the Silver Class standings from last year. Obviously, Chargers ran away with it. He had 7 victories, finished every race, and only finished off the podium twice, with the worst finish of 5th in Britain. But D Swiss was down there at 9th, but he missed a considerable amount of races. He actually only finished 5. And that included 2 podiums for himself and a 4th place in France. So D Switch can make every race. I feel like he might be the quickest in the division for this season.
I mean, I don't want to be the guy, the Debbie Dowder of everybody, but from the races I did watch in Silver, he kind of looked like got taken out lap 1, or he went and finished on the podium for the races he showed up to. And
he had some problems, but it looks like the proof is in the pudding. 3rd, 2nd, 4th, 8th, and 2nd. Those were his 5 finishes. He had 1 DNF in Singapore, but looking at the grid, it looks like most people did not finish in Singapore.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. New year.
I definitely see the speed. The speed is there. We'll just see if he can keep all 4 wheels pointing in the right direction, and I can definitely see him being a contender.
He's absolutely dominated this race. Really, just a masterclass in control. Really, since lap 4 or 5, he's had at least 5 seconds on P2. Dorian and then Sir Charles. So, I don't know. Something to think about for the rest of the Silver Class. D-Swish really making his mark here. putting his stamp of approval. It goes back up to 6 seconds.
Well, I don't see any other battles happening, but Dorian, he has closed in about a second in the last couple of laps. So we'll see probably about lap 17, I think. He'll be right up on the bumper of sorry, we don't have bumpers in F1. The gearbox of Sir Charles. Maybe even sooner than
Unfortunately,
that.
I was just going to point out, Dorian has a 3-second time penalty next to his name, so even if he manages to find a way past, he needs to build the gap of 3 seconds in order to keep that P2.
Dr. Smeg, the buzzkill.
Oh, I'm
Jeez.
sorry. Hey, there wasn't a lot going on, so I looked up what's going on in the racing incidents, and that's what came up. Sir Charles has been very clean, been very precise, and if he keeps this up, he'll probably maintain P2.
Yeah, he has had. I'm not sure, Smeg. I think you might have done the first test session last week in Barcelona. I don't think he was there.
I don't think so
Sir
either, no.
Charles. I think he might have been a really new addition here, yeah, definitely doing himself some favors compared to, he's beating 2 Golden Class drivers here, so pretty solid race and qualifying for them and for him. I did just check his profile on the Discord, and it does say that he's a silver driver. That should be confirmed after today. So, welcome.
Yeah, looking at the fastest laps, Coleman does have the fastest lap by about 3/10.
D-Switch has spun! Coming out of turn 12! Unbelievable scenes! After comfortably leading by 6 seconds, he spins at turn 12, relinquishes the lead to Sir Charles. So the battle for what was second place is now for the lead. That's if Sir Charles gets a penalty next to his name, of course, but...
Uh-oh.
Well, I guess the fastest laps don't matter if you're in the grass.
Wow. Oh, man, Swerner really... You really just rained on D-Switch's parade. You were doubting him, and then next thing
you were the one that was hyping him up, so I think we're both at fault here.
The commentator's curse strikes again, and D-Swish falls from P1, a comfortable P1 to P3. Oh, he would be absolutely kicking himself right now. Thank goodness this isn't a point-scoring round.
Yeah, it's just a practice race, but I'm sure that these guys are probably...
Mando. Hello.
Yeah, Mando spins.
Turn 5.
Yeah, I think that's an auto spin curb.
Yeah.
Probably got too far on the inside there.
Yeah, I mean, these guys are within about 3 seconds of each other, so... 3 laps to go, we're approaching 2 laps to go. But, let's see if D-Swish can turn it back on once these tires get back down to optimal temperature.
I think Dorian will have DRS going down this straight. Oh,
no,
I think he just missed out. Wow.
Yeah. So he was 2 thousandths of a second out of DRS from Sir Charles. I'm trying to compare ERS situations right now. I think Sir Charles isn't the best. Yeah, he's got 60% compared to Dorian and D-Switch down about 30. It's almost twice. And if Sir Charles can just hang on here, keep that DRS broken to Dorian, I think he has a pretty good chance of winning with the victory.
Yeah, honestly, I think that last lap, the fact that Dorian lost out on DRS might have cost him a chance at getting a good look at Sir Charles here, because outside of turn 1, there's not really too many places you can overtake around here.
It's true.
Except for the last corner, of course.
Yeah.
You get your elbows out.
D-Swish is closing the gap, and Dorian's still less than a tenth off of Sir Charles there. That's gotta be painful, knowing that you're so close to at least getting a chance here, but so far away at the same time. This D-Switch has closed the gap a bit. I think it might be too little too late, unfortunately, for him. She got another yellow. I'm not sure what that was for.
Dolphin Chaser was the only one in Sector 3, but he didn't look like he was too far out of shape there. But lucking up is right on Lando Mando. We'll see if we might see his position change for P4 here.
Yeah, Lucky was going to have to nail turn 4 here.
Lando's been struggling on tires, so we'll see if he can keep the car on the track, but...
Oh! Maybe Lucky needs some help keeping the car on the track, because he gets a good old-fashioned power slide to turn 5.
Dorian got within half a second. Half a second,
almost.
But...
Oh man, he just needs one more lap, but he's going to run out of time, I think.
So coming around the final corner now, Sir Charles will take victory. Dorian in P2. No, D-Swish in P2. D-Swish didn't have any penalties next to his name. So that will drop Dorian to P3. Lando Mando and locking up. Who will it be? Yep, Mando.
We'll see with penalties. Oh, I think they both had the same amount.
They're canceling penalties there. Dolphin's going to come around for P6. I feel kind of bad for Dolphin. He had a good race going there, but unfortunately for him, just came up a bit short in the end. And Coleman future silver class time.
Yeah, he dropped an 18.4 lap time. So I know he did pit for another set of softs, but that's about a second and a half ahead of the rest of the field, as he's going to put on a little show for us here.
And a burnout across the line.
Yes, he's lagging the whole way home.
So that will conclude pre-season testing for Silver. Not a bad race. Even with only 8 drivers on the grid, it was still pretty chaotic. You have to give it credit.
Yeah. It's like D-Swish's avatars down there faking a smile. Can't imagine it's due to if you give it a couple seconds, I did give I did send an invite to Sir Charles, see if he wants to talk for a bit about his race. I think his first unofficial race with the gun.
So with Sir Charles winning the race from D-Swish, who had been leading the whole time comfortably, loses it with a couple laps to go. He finishes P2, Dorian P3, Lando Mando P4, lucking up P5, Dolphin Chaser P6, and unlucky Coleman, after being involved in that incident on lap 1, he finishes P7. Casing your face will round off the drivers who started, but he didn't finish, ending up in P8. So, are we going to try and get Sir Charles? Hello. I bet you weren't expecting that. Oh my dearie me. Oh. You must be reasonably, you'd think, really deserve it, because you've been in second for the whole race, but you still must be very, very pleased with yourself to come up on top after pre-season testing.
Sir Charles, I'm gonna have to cut in here. Can you go to party? Go to party settings, and then chat or allow your voice to be shared. Turn that on. Always allow, because you're not coming through on the feed.
Is it good now?
Yeah, you should be fine now.
All right, cool.
Oh, what a
Yeah,
race! What a race!
Yeah, that was pretty fun. I was surprised to see D Swish make that mistake there. I mean, you must have. I mean, you were under pressure from Dorian the last couple laps too.
I was under pressure from him for it seemed like that entire second stint almost. I was definitely sweating a bit. Of course, I had no idea he had a time penalty. I didn't bother to check the MFD either. So that,
Right.
you know.
So you don't. So you're just now switching over to manual.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, I mean, that was pretty rock solid for someone just switching over. That was pretty impressive.
Yeah, well, I don't know if you were, if you watched the race from the onboard, I was probably missing a bunch of shifts. I know it was, especially early in the race.
No, I mean that is kind of what Silver's for, just to get your feet wet, dip your toes in a little bit. But so you were running? Did you have ABS and traction on medium?
Yes.
Okay, just checking because I think some of the guys, I think the Dolphin, who's going to be in Silver again, I think he had them both off, which is a bit surprising. Kareem Chandok, do you have any questions?
You know, I'm just glad another person with a Southern draw won a race. You know, we're really underrepresented. So you know, I'm just out here supporting the Southern nation in F1.
Yeah, definitely.
Where are you from, Sir Charles? I'm trying to pinpoint that accent. Sounds
Well, right now I'm from, I'm originally from Virginia. It's pretty much where I live most of my life. Right now, I live in Nebraska. Currently, so
that sounds
quite southern anymore. But I don't exactly consider Virginia that southern either. But some people do.
Oh, well, Smeg, if you want to take us on home, I guess.
Well, congratulations, Sir Charles. A superb drive from you today, mate. A very good, consistent drive, and your first ever time with a manual gearbox. It must have been quite a challenge to adjust to that. So, congratulations to you, mate. Very well done.
Yeah, thanks again.
So that will conclude pre-season testing for Silver. Stay tuned for tomorrow. We have got pre-season trials for the Golden Championship. That will be a very good one to watch. But for tonight, it's been an absolute pleasure to commentate again. And thank you to both Kittenpetter and Schwarner for joining me tonight. Equally, it's been a pleasure to commentate with you two.
Oh, the pleasure was all mine, trust me.
I'll give you a little virtual salute right now. You know, you can't see what I'm doing, but man, giving you a handshake, everything, high five, you name it.
Thank you, Schwarner. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you all so much for watching, and good night.